I tend to be very naive when people recommend me violent movies and series that I'm not familiar with. I always think I'll be able to manage and have the stomach to see certain things. So going into Sweet Home was an experience that was surely unexpected and wonderful at the same time. Someone told me to watch it without searching anything about it, and based on the description given to me, I had in mind it would be about people surviving in a post-apocalyptic world with gore here and there. It intrigued me because I heard they would be trapped in a building, and as some of you know, one of my favorite zombie movies is REC, so because of that I always give a chance to similar stories. I fired up the first episode and everything seems quite normal throughout it, until some lady eats a cat. Look, I recently survived while watching a movie where a person has intercourse with vehicles and therefore she gets pregnant, so I thought I'd be ready for everything at this point. And I was wrong. I was very wrong for different reasons. Not only because of violence, but this series is filled with impactful scenes followed by cathartic moments that I wasn't anticipating and had me absolutely perplexed. Sweet Home is a flawed roller coaster that a lot of times hits the notes of a complex drama about humanity and inner demons. Embarking on a wild story involving a young man called Yoon, a loner high school student who lost his entire family in a terrible accident, propelling him to give up on life until a horrific event changes everything, forcing him and everyone in the building that he just moved in to leave their home, as everyone have to face a new reality where monsters are trying to wipe out all humanity. It presents a simple premise at first. A person starts to have a nosebleed and then turns into a unique monster type. And that's where I started to have questions, and I loved the feeling. Because in episode after episode, what begins being goofy and cheesy becomes even more outlandish, until its revelations unfold, revealing a wide picture with an even more cryptic story. The series' gloomy tone provides a vivid sense of anguish that corrode these characters, with this super energetic, visceral and unapologetically centric style that enriches its over-dramatization of different matters. Every bit of drama here doesn't feel placed for the sake of forcing engagement with the plot. I'd arguably say that this series become a heart-wrenching journey precisely because of its time spent with the characters and seeing their growth, always on the edge, rooting for their survival. Each person has their own depth with life, their own struggle, their own sin. It's all about people that to an extent turn into their own sins or desires in a form of horrendous monsters, having the intent to showcase that some individuals take a long time to turn due to already acting like beasts while being human beings. The intro itself shows an iceberg with more under the line, meaning that people in general only show what they want others to see, hiding the dirty baggage of their dark side. But the entity behind these transformations lures them to choose what they truly desire by using their struggles against them. Humanity trying to retain its animalistic side. And when everything collapses and anarchy is established, it always brings these to the upfront, depending on self-control and everyone's true colors. It might feel redundant and perhaps pointless at times, depending on your sensibility towards certain topics. The crisp cinematography is astonishing, but the editing style also isn't everyone's taste, because it's very convoluted at times, especially in fight scenes. But you can tell in so many ways that its self-awareness is evident, because it doesn't waste time trying to come out with an excuse. Its CGI and color grading takes itself as much satirical and metaphorical as it can. I'd go further and say that its visual presentation as a whole becomes an entity, a character itself, adding more madness to the formula. And I'm not saying that it's good, but it sure becomes its own thing that works in pair with its aesthetics. But taking the CGI aside, I love when they use practical effects, and as for the monster's design, I found each to be very well crafted, acknowledging its finality and concept. The soundtrack for the most hits the sentimental beats. The main theme, Sweet Home, is a heartfelt song that captures pretty well the emotional core of the series, bringing up the fact that the residents of this apartment complex had to leave their homes, and as they adapt and reorganize in these new spaces of the building, they get to know each other more to the point of caring for one another. There's this cheerful moment of hope where the main character sees someone playing guitar, and he actually gives a title to the song that the girl is playing, which is the main theme. He states that it makes him feel at home, so the title is Sweet Home. And as she plays more, there are these callbacks to the places where he spent time with the characters, like the little store there or the main wall, providing more characterization to the locations they are in. There are also other badass themes, especially in the outro, but then there's a hot choice of music that with time I've grown to accept its use, but still feels out of place, and it's Warriors by Imagine Dragons. I mean, it has to be someone in the crew that is addicted to League of Legends, because this song plays a lot. Look, I'm an emotional potato, so that might also be the reason why Sweet Home worked so well for me. It got interesting characters, great performances, vivid atmosphere, terrifying moments, anxiety, and a concern for the people in it. Tell me, have you seen Sweet Home? If you haven't and you're into this kind of story, I strongly recommend it. Also, if you found my channel and you like what I do here, consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.